today I'm going to do a presentation on Binance Stockholm meetup. It will be really fun. I used to fly around the world and do presentations the whole time. Now everything is digital. They're on to me already. My god, that's actually a queue of people.
That is CTO.
Så jag får väl kanske gå in då. Tjena! Tjena! Nice!
The YouTube legend Mr. Larson.
Tjena! It's huge! Here there will be full of people.
Det var nog gott. Good to see you. Welcome.
Here we have some well-known faces.
I moved to Sweden thanks to you, so I'm very happy. I remember one quote that you said, here in Sweden everything is okay, what's happening in the rest of Europe? And that's kept on ringing my head and made me take the decision to move to Sweden, where you live.
I hope you won't regret it.
Sweden is one of the top countries from crypto too, and I love crypto. So
now we're gonna fix it.
I saw your interview with the mayor.
Yeah, he's here.
He's here? Oh, I would love to meet him. I'm the captain of my own ship.
There you go, Tix.
It's looking good. It's so great to see so many people. You know, when the crowd just comes in.
Welcome everyone. It's the biggest event that we've organized so far in Sweden. Who was a Binance user back in 2020? 2018, early adopters in the room. 2017, still a few. 2016, the ones raising their hands are disqualified for the night. Binance was founded in 2017. But it's good to see the enthusiasm at least. I'm not based in Sweden, I'm not from Sweden, as you might have heard from my accent. Over 2021, for example, Binance managed to reach, thanks to all the clients, a total trading volume of $43 trillion. So Binance globally has a little over 128 million KYC'd users. Thanks to all the users and the big numbers there, we managed to be the #1 in 79 countries out of the top 100 countries in the world. Based on another metric, this is actually the web market share, as we call it. The amount of people going to our website compared to any other service provider that can be considered a competitor. Sweden as being one of these countries where we are #1 when we look at web traffic, so the number of visitors for a website. So looking at the trading volume, an average daily trading volume of $65 billion. And we are quite proud to say that we have a 24/7 customer support as well. But if we compare that to traditional finance, it's not that common that you can reach them on a midnight on Sunday. I started at Binance about 1.5 years ago. In June 2021, we had about 2,500 employees globally in all departments. Currently, we have over 7,500 employees. So we grew quite a bit and we keep on growing because we are still hiring quite a lot of positions and roles. So these numbers from 2022, quite good. We are proud to share them, of course. But based on the things that happened in the market that also influenced the market cap of the entire industry, lead to new strategies. So I think that the initial strategy when Binance was founded was more from a tech company that wanted to bring innovation and grow, optimize the product, create communities, and grow the services and the user base that you have. In 2021, CZ shared this open letter explaining that compliance and regulation need to precede further growth. So the focus went all to compliance and regulation. So far, globally, we've attained 15 regulatory approvals, so both licenses and registrations included. I think in such a short time frame, we've came a long way, especially in Europe. So a few facts on the side, and I think the most notable one is the second one. Binance works a lot with law enforcement. Throughout the world, most law enforcement agencies are very happy to work with us. We've complied with 47,000 investigations, and we did it at a record speed. We usually, or the average handling time of an investigation on our side is 3 days, which is quite unseen in the traditional finance industry. I've spoken to a few law enforcement agents actually, and they all were very positive about how quick we respond and with what level of information and precision we can reply to them. Apart from that, we also try to protect the users at all costs, right? That's the main core value. So we have a SAFU fund to secure the users. Let's say there is an exploit. We have a $1 billion fund to reimburse users if needed.
Welcome, CTO Larsen. Thank you very much.
Now, I am from Sweden, which you cannot miss from my thick Swedish accent. I call this presentation Beginner Mindset, Not Beginner Mistakes, because I'm very, very old. So I worked with something before crypto, building the mobile data protocols, the 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. It arguably became the biggest technology of all time. There's 8 billion paying subscriptions. And one thing that all the best experts in this field have in common is that they have a beginner mindset. Hungry to learn more, curious, humble for how much we don't know, always striving to learn more. But they don't do beginner mistakes. In these 20 minutes, I will share 6 mistakes that almost everyone do at some points when coming into crypto. We continue a little bit more, and another one came up there. Binance coin, you can see there in the middle, which some of you might have heard about. In January 2018, it was the peak of euphoria. We all felt this is going to go forever. And they've all moved up to the right. And then what happened? It kind of moved in the other direction instead. It moved down to the left. And in December 2018, it was all dead. Crypto was dead, it was all a scam, and we were all the idiots. This is a few days ago, we have Bitcoin, and you see that there's a swarm of dots there, with market cap around 1 million up to $100 million, some 1 billion, some 10 billion, some 100 billion. I asked this on the previous one last summer, so let's see if there is at least one person who wasn't asleep. What did we see? What is that we were looking at? We are looking at the birth of an industry. That's what it looks like. It is the birth. And I don't know how many of you have children. They are not born adults. They're pretty small when they come out. Blockchain is somewhere around here. It's too expensive to use. The usability is kind of bad. Scalability isn't there. There are bugs, there are problems. There's lack of regulation. No one really knows what to do. We're not at the iPhone level. So don't write off this whole technology because it's not perfect. Because it is still in the beginning of a new technology. But if we look at those technologies then, on one side, we have Ethernet, TCP/IP, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G protocols. On the other side, we have Bitcoin, Ethereum, BNB. There is one big difference. They're all protocols. Someone written a white paper explaining how the protocol works. But there is one big difference between these two categories. Can someone guess what it is? Exactly. You can buy a share of the protocol, not just a share in the companies using the protocol. Okay, that sounds interesting. This Bitcoin might catch on. So maybe we should buy a little of it. Then you come to the question how to invest. How do you invest? I mean, this is easy, right? You buy low and sell high. Everyone knows that. How hard can it be? Does anyone have any experience, personal experience? What many of us fail to realize, me too in the beginning, is that when I buy, there is someone else selling. And when I sell, there is someone else buying. And since money is unfairly distributed in the world, the chances that the person doing the opposite of me has a lot more money than me, that's really high. You saw some statistics on the different VIP tiers there. What was it, 40 billion or something in one of them, right? So, unless you're one of those guys, the chances are that the person doing the opposite of you has a lot more money. And why are they selling if I'm buying? You might walk out on the National Stadium, There's FC Barcelona on the other side, and you're walking out there with no training, no plan, no strategy, no football shoes, and no education. You're walking out there naked with the idea that I'm going to shoot the ball in the goal on the other side. There is someone on the other side. It turns out that even HODL is pretty difficult, and that was for Bitcoin, which has gone up. What if it's something else? And I'm not showing scam projects here. I'm talking about, useful projects. They can go down 97%. Or some other project. This is 1 inch. These are like useful projects that are doing good technology. There is no way of knowing if you buy here that this will ever come back. So HODL is pretty risky, at least if you HODL on the way down. So I've printed up 1,000 pieces of socks, which says HODL sucks socks. Because at least the way that most people do it, HODL on the way down, is actually very risky, at least if doing it on altcoins that might never recover. So now we're coming to the 6 beginner mistakes. They buy when they feel the most euphoric, when it's all over media, but then it doesn't go as expected. It starts going down. What do most beginners do when they have a losing trade? No, they don't sell. They HODL, and hope that it will go up again. What do most beginners do when they buy and it actually goes up? A lot, 50%. Take profit. No one ever went broke taking profits, right? Lock in the profits early. Professional, on the other hand, that's on the VIP tier we saw over there, they probably do the other way around. They cut the losers early instead, and they hold on to the winners instead. They don't rely on their gut. They have a process, they have tools, they have a network of people, they do fundamental analysis, they do technical analysis, they don't go with their gut. They generally regard the public sentiment as a counter indicator, not as something to follow. The 6 beginner mistakes, if you can avoid these, don't buy the euphoria top. When you feel the most euphoric, that's maybe the time to get scared. Don't sell at the bottom. Don't hold on to the losers and hope that it's going to turn around. Hope is not a strategy. When you get the winner, don't lock in the profits too early. It's that one winner that's going to pay for everything in there. Don't go with your emotions and gut and wing it. You need a methodology. You need some kind of process. And don't blindly follow the media narrative. They're going to write the most about it when it's at the top, because that's when people are feeling the most euphoric. A few more minutes while you subscribe to my YouTube channel. On one side, it is a technology revolution, like internet, like the mobile phone, pushing the leadership of that technology to another country. That would be insane. Instead, we must attract competence here to Sweden. And we're kind of late starters, but I don't think it's too late. Crypto is also most people's first contact with serious investing, and they often face FC Barcelona naked with no plan. Education is key here, and regulation is also needed. Otherwise, we end up with a lot of scams. The SEC in the US has really not done well so far, from what I can observe. They've gone after a bunch of good projects that actually delivered good value to customers, while they totally missed the big companies that actually lost people's money, like Celsius and FTX. It's Madoff all over again, if you've seen that on Netflix. I think Sweden can do better here. I feel we have a culture of fewer lawyers suing each other and more common sense, and I think that's what's needed here. Because these 100-year-old rules, they don't map well to these blockchain protocols. So let's pave the way for a global competence hub in Sweden for blockchain, like we've had with telecom, like we've had with internet, with medical in Solna, because blockchain will have as big impact on our society as internet and the mobile phone has. Yes, Lars Online is gold for Bitcoin, and we're very close to breaking a key resistance here. Thank you, tack. Sitter vi Lars Online.
Pronounce this correctly because I'm not very, familiar with these fancy titles, but he's a member of the EU Committee of Region, and he's now, and that's the reason also why he's here, a fantastic, interesting, and enthusiastic blockchain enthusiast. And what I would like to compliment him for is that he's actually a guy who spent the time to understand what this whole thing is all about. You know, he's in a position, he's someone who is actually in a position of power, I would say, to be able to make decisions that impacts this industry by what he's doing down in Brussels. But he's also then actually took the time to understand what this whole thing is all about. And that I want to compliment him for. That's the reason why he's here. And also he has someone else with him that we're also very grateful to have. But I will give the word to you, Per, to kind of introduce the rest and take this away. Thank you so much, and please give him a big hand.
I can help them push blockchain questions in the right way down in Brussels, which I think is starting to go a bit to the right way now when we can put Mika behind us. But I want to introduce Ida, a very interesting person to have here today. She's a member of parliament and a member of the financial committee. She's described as one of the more progressive member of parliaments, I would say. And she's also very keen on questions when it comes to entrepreneurship, new technologies. The Committee of Finance is also the committee that is responsible for regulation and observation when it comes to finance and banking. And she will have a big influence on Binance and also the whole market of crypto and blockchain here in Sweden.
The tech. This is my favorite. Tech-wise, it's a big possibility. Sweden are very good in tech. If you look at the fintech market, we are, compared to other countries, even Silicon Valley, we are the best. 10% of everyone in Stockholm work in tech. When you look at, you know, unicorns, we can compete with Silicon Valley. We are good in this, but we are, like Anders said here, we are late in blockchain. So this could tech-wise be a big opportunity for our companies, our startups, tech hubs, for our universities.
And many friends I have who kind of moved to Silicon Valley in the maybe late 90s, and they felt that I'm an idiot because I missed it. It's too late. This internet thing is already over. It wasn't really, right? That's 25 years ago. And I think that's how early we are. It's not too late. I think this has just started. Blockchain is still one of the few industries where a single person can sit home and program something and it becomes a billion-dollar company. That's not so easy in most other industries, but here it's still possible. So, you know, go for it.
Ida, you saw the facts and figures from Binance here. They are extremely impressive. From a politician point of view, a legislator and a member of the finance committee, a license like Binance license, how important is it for?
I think it's very important. I wouldn't probably be here if you didn't have a license. Like that even if I would be, as a person, personally positive, then it would be too risky to be here.
When speaking of this, like preventing crime, I think that actually blockchain will bring much better tools to do that than we've ever had. The traces are there forever, for perpetuity. It is a ledger. You can't go back and change it afterwards. And it's public. More AI is coming that can kind of analyze all this data. It's going to be impossible to hide in it. I think if you're kind of a criminal and you want to do something dodgy, you probably wouldn't want to do it in a way that the trail is public for the whole world to see for all eternity. Even if someone can't uncover it today, in a few years they will be able to unnest that and they will find you.
What tips would you give the blockchain community and blockchain companies? How should they educate decision makers and lawmakers on this in a way that so that they will understand that they can't just crack down on it? This is here to stay.
Okay, start your sentence with telling we have a license now. Okay, we are here to address these issues, the problems, all the worries that the politicians have and that you also have. Address them, tell them, and politicians will be interested or shocked, because that would not be what to expect. Third, show how you want and how you have already started to address and tackle these problems by your own. And then fourth, tell us that, okay, but we also need your help.
I just want to say thank you so much to you all three for coming.
You won't make someone profit.
Thank you for the socks.